Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and we need to get our buckets ready because there's leaks. Oh man, I have a big bucket. User Utter Travesty from the Nerf Reddit compiled a massive list of blaster names and code names from EverestToys.com, which is a distributor website where companies can order blasters to resell. None of the listings have any actual information on them, so take the entire rest of this segment as pure conjecture. There are 25 names in this list, so let's break it up into their respective lines. We have 5 new Nitro products coming spring 2019. I know this community isn't very enthusiastic about the Nitro line, but my cats are going to love these. Much more interesting is the 4 products with the name Dart Tag on them. A name we haven't seen since 2013. Is Nerf trying to bring back the Dart Tag tournaments now they've seen other tournaments popping up like BTA, NBL, ADL? I hope so, but for now all we have is a solo set, 2-player set, and what I'm assuming are glasses and darts, slated for release in fall of this year. The Zombie Strike line only has one name listed, the Revoltinator. Is this the blaster that we saw leaked last week? Who knows, names aren't very descriptive. Fortnite has several listings, the Risky Reeler, TS, which I think means Tactical Shotgun, Sneaky Springer, and the HCE. I haven't played any Fortnite, so I haven't the slightest what any of those could be referring to, but I'm sure the comments will have some guesses. There's also 3 Super Soakers in the list that will also have the Fortnite branding. There's only a few entries for the Elite line. I'm most excited about the Shell Refill Pack, because there was a listing posted on Nerf Buy Sell Trade for a heck of a lot of Sledgefire shells, and the seller has a reputation for acquiring unreleased things from the factory. This, combined with another product named Trilogy DS15, has me crossing my fingers and hoping for a Sledgefire reskin. There's also a Titan. The same Titan, a code name, a new Titan, we don't know yet. We'll see soon. Rival is getting a huge assortment of blasters. We already knew about the Jupiter. There's an Orange Coffee Solo that has to be a code name. The Deadpool Chimmy is funny enough that I can't be sure if it's official or a code name, but I'm looking forward to more Deadpool, even if it's a reskin. There's also the Percy's, which is something I believe we also have a leaked image for. This new leaked image from the Nerf Wiki Discord. That is a lot of Nerf Discords. Wow. Anyway, it looks to definitely be a flywheel blaster due to its flywheel bulges on the side and having a very clear rev trigger. The most notable feature on this blaster, however, is the massive object in front of the main grip that looks to be a magazine of some sort. We're leaning towards that being where ammo is stored or possibly where batteries are stored. You can see the front part of that area is a different color and it looks to have some kind of mechanism to it. If this is a battery area, the balls likely go up top in some kind of internal magazine or hopper. It's also possible that there's space up top for inserting magazines as well. We doubt that Hasbro would have just released a cooler looking Hera, so we're hopeful that this has something to distinguish itself as a new blaster. It's possible that it's just a scaled down Nemesis with a top hopper, and if that's the case, we're likely looking at a 50-round flywheel blaster with a pretty compact form factor and some nice ergonomics and styling that look like a nod to the Chris Vector. Michelle's very excited for this one, but like all the leaks, we'll have to wait and see what the mothership has in store for us. Short people, rejoice! User Nerf Rival from Reddit shared his version of the Caliburn, the Talon Claw. This is a remix over 8 inches shorter than the original, hitting 180 FPS with only a 3.5-inch draw. It's made for Talon magazines only. It uses the same hardware from the original Caliburn, just shortening many pieces, so if you plan to build it, be sure to have the tools necessary for cutting the threaded rods and the aluminum ram. Nearly every piece has been modified to be shorter or work with the Talon mag, so check out the Thingiverse link to give it a try. This leak comes to us from Reddit via user Night Owl Nerf. We love the Battlecamo paint jobs, and now Nerf is giving us a new Cycloneshock. I think that it looks awesome. I don't care if people think that it looks like a candy cane, I'm still going to tag you out with it. The Cycloneshock performs really well even stock, but it can be easily converted to fire single elites or be converted into a multi-shot shotgun firing 3 shots at a time. There's already pretty good aftermarket support for the Cycloneshock, so it'll be really neat to see more of them at Wars. I hope Hasbro keeps giving us really good looking paint jobs, and I hope that the paint is on the other side as well. Hasbro, please. Paint both sides. A couple of weeks ago, we saw workers' take on Hanaya SH's tiny Nerf Flywheel Pistol. Not to be outdone, Blaster Forge, creator of some of the coolest 3D printed designs out there in our hobby, has taken a crack at the Micro Flywheel Pistol. His currently unnamed blaster sports what looks like Flywheel the World style wheels, a grip-loaded half-length magazine, and a pusher belt. That's right, that little thing is full auto. It's very clearly in the prototype stage, but from what we know so far, it takes standard form factor motors and is a clamshell design held together by freaking magnets. He's claiming performance around 115 FPS, but being relatively secret about anything else. Let's hope the project goes further, because a LiPo battery strapped to the top of a blaster is a little jank. And we would know. YouTuber Aldoss is known for his footage of Nerf Wars and Weekly War live streams. Last week his camera went kaput and he posted a GoFundMe for repairs. In less than a day he received double the money needed for the repair. And we just wanted to share this because the generosity in this community is amazing, and I'm so happy to be in a community that really supports each other. Again, he already has enough for his goal, but any extra money he promised to use for improving the quality of his streams, and the link is in the description. In community products news, Grihas Gear now has a Hypnos pump grip and some Picatinny rails for the left and right sides, and we at FoamBlast are now offering custom vinyl cutting services. Links to both those shops in the description. Now it's time for Video of the Week. If you've ever wanted to do any cosmetic mods to a blaster, this video is a must-watch. The video technically came out last week, but we make the rules here. I'll allow it. Kayakasaurus, whose name I love, goes into insane detail and uses some tricks that were new to us for adding weathering to a really sweet-looking integration. It's got battle damage, dirt and grime, invisible seams, and some internal mods as well. We aren't a huge fan of the hot glue into epoxy putty for the main bonds, but if he would have thrown some DevCon in for the plastic-to-plastic bonds, we'd consider this a pretty flawless video. Regardless, it's a clean blaster and highly informative. Thanks Grihas for the suggestion for this week's mod of the week, the Barbados. I could talk about this thing for a few minutes, but I believe we have someone with a little bit more experience in integrations to do that. So take it away, Mr. Nathan.
Thanks, Adriana. Today's mod of the week is brought to us by a Brzezinski. I'm really sorry, man. We'll put the name here. But he brought us a fantastic looking integration today. It's a strife-based Centurion integration with an underbarreled Magnus, a little bit of an extension up front with a, I think it's a Nitron, if I remember right, and a Magnus, just little bits and bobs here and there. But just made a beautiful, beautiful integration. He used the whole length of the Centurion shell, whereas a lot of people just kind of cut it off to keep it short. But even though it's the whole length of the thing, the way it ties into the Magnus just really makes it look correct, not oversized or gangly or anything like that. It features a OFP 42.5mm cage, black worker wheels, some motors that I've never heard of, so I don't know what the information is with that. You may ask him. It features RGB LEDs that I believe are remotely controlled, select fire kit for the strife, and a paint job by a friend of his. But if you look at it, it's just a fantastic, fantastic looking piece. A lot of work went into it. I don't remember exactly the amount of time he said, but it looks like it was plenty of time. Beautiful paint job. And in fact, man, there's just so much to see here. I could gush about this for quite a while. In fact, if you look at the...
Thank you, Mr. Nathan. Always a pleasure to integrate you into our show. That's all for this week. We'll be back again next week at 10 a.m. Pacific. See you then. Wait, is he still going? Why doesn't he just make a whole video?
Are you following me here? It's just like up front. If you look where the Centurion magwell would have been, he used that area to tie and kind of cover up the fact that there's a grip and stuff from the Magnus, so instead of having like kind of a obvious grip thing sitting there, it kind of covers the whole thing up, and then the trigger is actually mounted behind it in front of the magwell. Just such a fluid presentation overall, just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And Adriana, be a dear and make sure there's a link in the description so the good people watching at home can check that thing out, because that thing is too cool to pass up. Anyway, back to you. Addie? Guys? We're still going, right?